Welcome back to the special edition of Hannity and Colmes. We are live in South Carolina. By the way, keep texting your votes. If you think you want to tell us who the winner of tonight's debate is, just text your vote to 36988. Here's another look at the early results of our texting, our message poll. In first place, Ron Paul, 30%. In second place, Mitt Romney, 28%. Third place, Rudy Giuliani with 16%. And now we're joined by presidential candidate Colorado Congressman Tom Tancredo. You think you should have been a little higher there in those?
I was just going to say, and then I thought you were going to say, and in fourth place at least, but no, now here I am.
Hey, listen, in my view, Congressman Ron Paul did not win that debate by any stretch.
I'm not surprised to hear Sean Hannity say that. But let me ask you about that. You said this. You said it in this debate. You've said it before. In terms of Iraq, we should disengage but not withdraw.
Yeah.
Please help me understand what you mean by that.
Sure. And it really is, I think, almost exactly the direction we are heading. Because, as I said, the president has established a November benchmark. He said so when he faced the nation. He said, November, Iraq's going to be in control of the 18 provinces. Well, that's a benchmark. That means, it seems to me, that we change our status, the status of our troops in Iraq. And it means that we go from being which I do not think we should be as a constabulary force or a police force, to one of being a support force for the Iraqi government. We cannot leave the region. I absolutely agree with that. We will be there for a long time.
But you say disengage, so what do you mean by disengage?
Disengage means that we are not part of the actual confrontation that is now going on. I mean,
we're there militarily and still in harm's way.
Absolutely, we are there militarily, and we will be going after Al-Qaeda where it develops, and we will be supporting the Iraqi government in its efforts to maintain itself, and that still will mean that we'll be, we will be engaged to a certain extent. But I still think that we cannot be a constabulary force. That's the important difference.
Well, I want to ask you about immigration, which I know is your big issue.
Immigration.
And you have said not only do you want to stop immigration, obviously with all kinds of measures, you want to prosecute mayors and city councils.
That's exactly right.
That provide sanctuary. You would go after local mayors, city council people.
Yeah, I would.
From a federal level.
Absolutely, because they're violating a federal law. It's called aiding and abetting. And so there's also another law, by the way, specifically against doing a sanctuary city. There is a federal statute about that. Now, the reality is, if we're going to try to actually do something with our borders, try to secure them, try to go after employers who are actually hiring people who are here illegally, and then you've got cities, you've got mayors and city councils declaring sanctuary cities, so that it thwarts all of our efforts to do anything in terms of enforcing the law. It's a horrible situation. And so they are breaking the law, and I would actually go after them.
One of the things, so you were asked specifically about some of the other candidates, and you were very specific in being willing to criticize them.
Well, why not? We're supposed to be a debate here.
No, I'm asking that more particularly.
Yeah, sure.
The comprehensive plan.
Glad you brought this up.
What is emerging tonight, we're told in Washington,
that's right,
is a plan that people would have to go back to their country of origin first. Would Tom Tancredo support that?
It's all hogwash, as far as I can tell, and from what I've seen of that plan. And I'm glad you brought that up. I wish I would have mentioned that even during the debate, because we will see when this bill will come. It's a Reid, Kennedy, Bush bill, essentially. When it comes up, we will see whether or not the people on the stage, especially Senator McCain, goes along with his statement that he's never voted for amnesty, which is absolutely, totally incorrect, by the way, and we're going to give him another chance.
All right, let me ask you this. You talked about the role of government, and specifically you were talking about the national debt, $400 billion, et cetera, et cetera. You talked about you're against No Child Left Behind.
Yeah.
You're against the Medicare prescription drug program, and you challenge the other guys on the stage on those issues.
Yeah.
So a defining difference between you and them?
Oh, absolutely. Again, look at the way they voted. I mean, how can you stand up there, Sean, and say, we're spending like drunken sailors, was the great line that Senator McCain uses, and then vote for things like the Medicare prescription drug bill? How can you do that? How can you even utter those words? That is the biggest increase in government since the creation of Medicare.
And it was a lot more expensive than what they thought it would be when originally proposed.
But you vote for it, then you come here and you go, I want to gain control of this, of this fiscal house. We got to get it in order, and we spend like drunken sailors. Well, yeah, that's true. How did you vote?
What do you got to do to break through to get higher in those polls, the text polls, higher in the polls, raise more money? What do you have to do to break through to the next year candidate?
If I do well in the Iowa straw poll, I mean, that's really the big, that's the next, and I don't have to win it, but I have to do well in it. If I don't come in the top, then I can't get to, I mean, that will, if I come into that, in that race, top 5, let's say, I get catapulted up.
Congressman, thank you very much.